Yep. What up, BU family? Welcome to another edition of the Thank God I'm Married podcast. I am your host with the most quests, and today, man, let me tell y'all something that's a little bit special today. I'm excited. Like, for real, I don't even really know what to do with myself right now, but today is a special edition of the Thank God I'm Married podcast. Why? Because we are in sunny. I'm looking out the window right now. It's beautiful. We are in sunny.
I can see clearly now.
Yeah, I can see clearly now.
The rain is gone.
Yeah, the rain is definitely gone. It's like very, how your girl said, no cumulus clouds. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, temperature's lovely out there. We are in sunny San Diego, California at the I Do. Now, what do I do? Yeah, Marriage and Relationship Conference. Usually we are joined by the 6'8" Tower of Power, Josh Hatch, but today Josh is chilling with the wife, so we're gonna hold it down.
And
CJ and
he
the
with
boss.
The boss, so we definitely
can't say nothing to him. So yeah, we're gonna hold it down, the three horsemen. But I'm joined by the anomaly, you know what I'm saying, the alien, you know what I'm saying, E.T. Y'all know him as Dr. Eric Thomas. Some know him as Dr. Eric Thomas, but to us, E.T. the hip hop preacher.
The extraterrestrial.
Yeah, extraterrestrial. They definitely ain't from this world. I don't know where E from, but he ain't from here. And man, but my brother from another mother, man, Mr. Flat Out. You know what I'm saying? Mr.
Flat Out.
Mr. Young, Fly, and Saved. You feel me? Number one, syndicated show on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? On that praise station, y'all. Welcome, my man, Willie. Willie Mo Jr.
Willie Mo Jr. What's up,
Willie Mo Jr. here.
Man,
so what's going on, fellas?
Man, good. I'm good.
I just got one request. If for when we recorded video, if he could make it do that thing that his thing does. You know what I'm saying? I just want to chop it up. Man. Chop it. Yeah, all stuff. I be watching that like, okay, how did it do? Okay, I got it. Okay.
What up, bro? Flat out.
Flat out. We gotta do it.
Flat out.
ADD proof.
Yeah, right.
So, E, what's going on in your world, man?
Just excited to be here, man. Like you said, man, it's funny sitting next to, Willie Mo. You know how you meet people on, social media, and something about them, it draws you like magnets. It draws you. And so I remember watching his videos, and this is before like the show. This is like flat out. Yeah. He was literally taking that medium and introducing himself to the world. Yeah. And you get it in your feed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Did you see this one? I know, I see that one. Yeah. And then to have people saying, like, yo, it's a bro out there who on the same vibe, he talk about you on the show. Mm-hmm. Of course, our girl Virtue, it's like my sisters, like family. They like, you gotta hook up with, but me, I'm like, I want to do it in God's time. Yeah. I don't want to force nothing. So to be literally in the building with a soldier, is it's an honor, man. And so I'm just glad that we got him. We hit him last night with the 1-2. Yep. Jamie did his thing. Yep. Willie Mo did his thing. I was fortunate enough to come up, and close it in the rear. And this is something we're about to start doing. Yep. So it was just a blessing, man. I'm in a great space being with. If I felt like. Durant came over. We got Durant. You know what I'm saying? We got Durant now. We're about to put up 30. We're about to add some rebounds, some post presence. So I'm feeling good, man.
Amen.
What's going on in your world, Willie, man? Talk to us, man.
Man, you know what? It's so amazing to be here, like with Eric and even you, because Quest and I, we were in a movie together that never came out. Soon as we put a few points on the board, I feel like that movie gonna just pop out of nowhere. But man, just to be here with all the guys, even Carl and CJ, just people that you've seen for so many years. Like I tracked your journey immediately when my life hit rock bottom. I don't even know how God lined those cards up, but I just remember sitting in the basement of my mother-in-law's home after we lost our house with 2 kids, my wife, and I just was going through YouTube, and then I see this dude saying, I think I ran into an old one in the backyard. It was like 27 minutes. Come on. And I watched that whole boy though. They don't
let me do that no more.
So I watched that, and my wife was like, "Who is this loud dude you keep playing at 6 o'clock in the morning?" And man, he just kind of walked me through how that my today didn't have to be my tomorrow. And my wife started seeing a change in our marriage, seeing a change in our relationship. And one thing that I learned from Big Bro is just consistency. So every Wednesday I was consistent with these videos. video vlogs, and now today my wife and I, we have an amazing marriage.
Come on.
We pushing it to the next level. We just wrote a new book.
I know it's lovely. She here with you.
Yeah. We go together. She fine.
We
go together. I hate to see her leave. Let us see her walk away.
I love to see her walk away.
We go together. We go together.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed, man. Glad to be here. Such
man, man. Let me tell you, I consider it nothing short of amazing, man. Just number one he goes without saying. My whole life has been transformed because of him and his ministry and what he's done for me. Not only in the beginning when I did this wrong the first time, but what we doing right now in terms of our marriage now. Yeah. And I'm telling you, me and Faith is like for real, living la vida loca. Amen. Even in the times where it's difficult and we bump heads, like for real, we sitting down and saying we're not going another day with beef. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. That's all the principles from being all around. For real, if you are in an environment, I believe, with people who, like for real, not going to the next level, then you need to get rid of that environment. Yeah. You need to get rid of that circle. Yeah. And so just to connect with you again, after we did that movie years ago that ain't never dropped, and we back clicked up again and again.
I'm glad to hear that. So put perspective on things.
We're black. We're black. I remember in the mornings we were going, we would call you in the morning. That was him. Yeah, that's me. We're working on back there. So for us to click back up again, and then in this dynamic, with dealing with marriage, man, I'm blown. I'm blown. So yeah, man, let me just roll into this next portion, man. The next portion is called I Can't Stand When. And I can't stand when we come to places like this and we get all of this love and click up with all of our brothers, and then a day later we gotta leave. Like, I can't stand that.
Reunion with your cousin?
Yeah, then you only stay for a day or 2 days, and then you gotta roll. Like
we always were the first ones to leave. I gotta go get my parents and bring them in. Because we was in Detroit and everybody else was in Chicago, because my mom left Chicago when I was younger. I used to hate, we were always, because my mother can't drive at night, so we always had to leave first.
Yeah, I hate that.
Oh, I used to hate that.
I hate that.
Love being with my cousins. And I had one cousin, my little cousin Brian. We was like on some color purple. He'd be running the car down till we got out the park or got out of the neighborhood.
Me and you would never park.
Yeah.
Willie, tell me one of them things you just can't stand, bro.
Man, the one thing that I can't stand is that when we get to a city and everybody's excited about what we doing and what the Lord is doing in our life, and then people go back to the regularly scheduled program.
Oh, come on.
That's why I started the YouTube thing, because Young Cats was really getting our form of how we coming in with the DJ and we loud and just being 100, ball caps on to the back. Yeah. And then they go back to the regularly scheduled program, and then my cats hit me back like, I don't really rock with that.
Right. Status quo.
So I just hit the YouTube, but I know the importance of environment. So I'm like, man, I got to keep these cats in the environment. So if I can hit their cell phone, that'll keep them enticed to keep running to the right environment.
That's right.
So that used to drive me nuts.
That's right.
And I ain't really get a chance to go to many family reunions that much, because my mom and them was older. They wasn't driving nowhere. And $45 for like that little registration. Yeah, my mama talking all night about they want $45 for some registration. Ain't nobody giving that bitty no $45. She ain't gonna do nothing but spend it up on them drugs.
Play the lottery. On the numbers, cash out the numbers.
Indeed, man. So yeah, that's what I can't stand.
$45. Yeah, they charge me. I'm paying $200 registration.
Yeah, $45.
I might not need to go.
Yeah, my mama was rocking with it.
Yeah, no. And I keep asking, what am I getting other than the T-shirt for my registration? Okay, I'm sorry, Quay.
No, you good. You good. That's what we here to do. But I know tomorrow, like for real, for those of you who did not, come to this podcast, I guarantee you will hear about it after this evening. Yeah. And you will be sick with yourself because you were not here. Like for real. I don't understand how you can, let me just say this. Like you have to, in order to get something back, like for real, I don't care. I don't know who made this saying up that the best things in life are for free. I don't, like for real. I encourage, as well as you do, that like for real. I encourage marriages or couples to at least go to one conference per year, at least read one book on marriage per year. The marriage is something where you got two people from two different backgrounds, you coming together to click up as one. And it's not something that's static or stagnant. It's fluid. People are always evolving and changing. How do you keep up with the changes? How do you keep up with these two individuals who are evolving? And like for real, you need to come and invest in your marriage. And for real, I do. Now what do I do? Coming to a city near you real soon. You know what I'm saying? You need to be there.
You need to be there.
So yeah, you need to be there.
Yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So let's move into this next section, E. Like for real, the topic of the day is why now. You know what I'm saying? Why now? For those of you who know anything about ETA, Eric Thomas, and everything that we're doing, we haven't always like put marriage in the forefront. I know we did it in the past, but now, you know, one of the narratives or one of the themes that are being pushed throughout ETA is that you cannot compartmentalize success. Like, you're not about to be dope in your business. Yeah. You're not about to be dope in entrepreneurial endeavors. You're not about to be dope at your workout game and not be dope in your marriage and think everything gonna be fine. Yeah. So why now? And what are we trying to do now?
Yeah, I think it's all about like a fine wine. Mm-hmm. You know, you do it with a thought process in mind, and you can sell that wine whenever. Yeah. But your goal is to create the best product. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's got to sit for a while. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think for me, because marriage is so sacred, there's no other way for me to say it. Yeah. Marriage is so sacred, you know, that I wanted to make sure that when we came out with it, we came out right. Mm-hmm. You know, and so for me, for now, it's like, yo, E, you did all your homework. Mm-hmm. You know, your babies are in college now. Your wife and you guys are empty nesters. We've had a chance, Willie Mo, we were talking about communication earlier. Mm-hmm. We've had a chance to communicate about it. Mm-hmm. Because see, the other stuff, the personal development, you know, to learn how to speak, to learn how to make money, I can do that by myself. Mm-hmm. I can't do marriage without my wife. Mm-hmm. I can't talk about marriage if she's not present. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It take two to make that. You know, and so I think when Dee Dee was ready, you know, because Dee Dee's more, you know, behind the scenes, still powerful. Mm-hmm. But when Dee Dee was like, yo, I'm ready. At first, Dee Dee was like, no, we want to take care of our kids. First to the house of Israel, then to the othermost part. So when Dee Dee felt like our children are grown, we've sent them off, you know, you and our relationship is something that we can put in the light. Because Dee Dee was like, yo, we ain't even trying to put our stuff in the light until it's right. Now, we ain't perfect and we ain't trying to pretend like we perfect. But we're not going to go out and tell the world to do something that we have not accomplished ourselves. That's right. You know, so Dee Dee's like, yo, I'm ready. That's right. I'm ready, you know. And so by the grace of God, man, it's time. You know what I'm saying? It's time to make it happen. You know, so Dee Dee's ready. I'm ready. The world is ready. And I think that's the other thing that we have to realize. The world said, yo, we watched those 3 or 4 that you put up. You know, we keep watching those. When you gonna come out with more? And so by the grace of God, man, it's more. We're there. So that's it, bro. That's why. The world wanted it. Dee Dee ready. I'm ready. The team was ready to support me, you know, and saying, yo, E, this ain't as specific as speaking or entrepreneurship or professional. So, you know, E, are we going to be able to, because it's still a business. And they didn't trip on me. They said, hey, we know the numbers are going to be lower. We know we might not make the same type of money we're going to normally make, but it's important for us to do it. And so even if we take a loss, the world needs information. Like, they need a blueprint, and we need to give them the blueprint.
Indeed. Shouts out to the Quincy Jones, you know what I'm saying, of the organization, the boss, you know what I'm saying, the Tower of Power just stepped into the room, so we're going to get them to jump in. But like, for real, let me ask you too, Willie Mo. Willie Mo's our special guest. You know, today he's going to be jumping off, you know, with the beginning of the conference today. What does a conference like this mean to you and to your wife, and what you're doing in terms of your ministry? Because you just wrote a book on marriage. You know what I'm saying? So what does all of this mean to you and what you're trying to do right now?
You know, what it means to me now, you know, to even be able to even talk about marriage, because I did it all wrong. Like, I was married for 6 years. I was 6 years in, and we was just going through straight hell. Like, it was really, really tough. We weren't communicating right. We wasn't doing a lot of stuff, mainly because I was married to myself. And I was so selfish.
Pause right there. Pause right. You need to say that one more time.
I was married to myself. I was married to my wants. I was married to my needs. I came from, like, I'm adopted. I never met my mother or father. So everything has always been about Willie, Willie, Willie. I was everybody's baby. And so I got married, and I wanted everything to be about me. And because she grew up in a home with just a single parent, I thought because I grew up with a mother and father that had to be the way to do it. But I found out that every experience is individual. And because every experience is individual, like, I needed a higher source of understanding. And so that's when I started leaning on the Creator. Like, okay, man, how you do this? You made her, and I can't talk to her, you know? And so 6 years in, after all the wrong things I did and all the crazy stuff I said, I started really living out those principles, not wanting anybody to give me no rah-rah shish-kum-ba. If she didn't get it, it didn't matter. I was going to give my all law, and I was gonna follow these principles.
Taking ownership.
And like, look, at least I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I know you hate me because of what I've done in the past, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep living consistently on these principles. And so, I want to show young couples like, hey man, maybe infidelity did hit your relationship, but let me show you through these principles how this can work. Maybe your finances made you so mad that you can't trust him with finances no more because he made too many mistakes. And so let me show you how we got through this thing. Maybe communication is breaking down because of this blended family that you're in. My first son, 14 years old, is with a woman that I barely knew because of my recklessness.
Come on.
But I want to show people how they went from clashing to my wife doing the makeup to the mother of my child when she got married. How I get a chance to stay in Memphis with them in their house when I come to Memphis.
Wow.
Like I don't have to get a hotel because her husband and I are men of God. And we said, you know what, we got one common denominator, and that's Jesus Christ. And so let's live with him so we can raise the best child.
Come on.
And so I'm so excited about a conference like this because Eric Thomas' brand and CJ and Josh and Quest, y'all brand, you have black, white, Hispanic, and such a broad facet of people who are going through same problems. But I just want to introduce them to the common denominator.
And I think what you're saying is dope too, because as you looking at all these people from different, race, color, creed, no matter where you come from, the one thing with marriage is that I don't care where you come from, what your background is, marriages go through the same kind of issues. You understand? It's the same kind of issues. And what I'm learning with what you're just saying right now, Willie, is the fact that no matter how bad the situation gets, shaky to good, ultimately we want to be at great and then phenomenal. But if the situation is shaky, you can turn it around. You know what I'm saying? Because you talked about the first 6 years it was hell, and I'm seeing wifey with you now, you know what I'm saying, here at the conference, and there's no, I can't even compare nothing to that feeling to have your boo with you, you know what I'm saying? Like you saying now, we go together. You know what I'm saying? Like you boyfriend and girlfriend again, you know what I'm saying? Circle yes if you like me, you know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? And she chilling with you, y'all going to work out in the morning. I mean, that's what this is all about. So I'm basically sending a message out to everybody, like for real. You can turn your situation around. I don't care how bad it is. The question is, what are you willing to do in order to turn it around? Are you willing to put the work in necessary, you know what I'm saying, to get rid of yourself? Are you, wanting to operate in humility, which is the absence of self and pride, in order to get that turned around? So, boss man, come on, jump up in this thing,
man.
man.
I'm just enjoying the show, man. Y'all kicked me off the marriage podcast.
No.
So I just, you know what I mean? I'm just enjoying the nights of the round table.
We know you making the money, so you know what I'm saying. But what does all of this mean to you though? Like for real, we transitioned to a place now where we've kind of like really put marriage out in the forefront. We got these conferences now, and we got people coming from all over the place. What does this mean, and why now? Why now? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, no, I think, you look at, families and the family structure these days, and you see so many families that, are separated now. You know what I mean? And then you see, they was talking about the divorce rate, right? And it's like 50% end in divorce. And then you think about how many people just didn't get divorced. And then so you start looking at like how many people are genuinely happy in their marriage. And then you look at like, what is it, 25% then? And so I'm saying there is no way for me to experience ultimate happiness if I'm not happy in my marriage. So we go around and we do all of this. I do the branding and entrepreneurship. I can have your brand suite. I can have you making money. I can have you doing whatever. E could pump you up in your character, get you motivated, ready to run through a wall. Josh can teach you all the business stuff in the world. And at the end of the day, if you go home and your marriage sucks, what does it all mean? And so when E wanted to do this, I was in full support because I understand that for real, we talk about the triple-double. And if you're gonna have that triple-double, if you're gonna experience that euphoric feeling, you gotta be able to go crush it and then come home and be like, man, like, thank God. Like, do you know how high I get when we go do a conference in Charlotte and it's like 1,000 people there and everybody's like, oh my God, you changed my life. And I can't wait to get home from that. I mean, that's the highest of the high, being at the conference and watching that, and then to go up another notch when I run in and my son run into my arms and my wife is there and we go out to dinner and we hanging out and we come home and we watch a movie together and we all fall asleep on the couch together. Like, there is no feeling like that. And so I think for us to deny that we do have the tools and information to be able to help you in that side of the process as well, would be selfish on our part. You know what I mean?
Jump in, E, and then
well, I want to add, to C and Willie Mo, but to C, for real, man, you guys, I wish you could be a fly on the wall. Like, we give you as much as we could give you. But I wish you could see the last 2 nights.
Unbelievable.
We in the restaurants,
Unbelievable.
y'all. I'm talking about, like, most of y'all probably wouldn't even appreciate my messages after you saw me cutting loose with wifey, you know, and
Unbelievable.
gang, you know, but for real, I'm triple double. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those dudes that's preaching and then, you know, I'm not having fun. I don't believe that. I believe on earth as it is in heaven. Like, I'm getting it here, I'm getting it there. You know what I'm saying? So you come in a restaurant, you'll fly on the wall. If you could just hear the laughter. Yeah. The laughter that's going on. Yeah. The
uncontrollable laughter.
Uncontrollable laughter. The sharing of food. We know all the stuff. It's going all down this way, back up this way. Yep. We organically talking about business, this idea, the kids, the whatever. We might make a Target run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
You don't want to know what we bought at Target.
Target right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Target. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and then come home and cuddle with my girl. Yeah. So we're not even talking about the old ET where I used to be on the road. You know, I had to pay my dues. I had kids. You know, my kids grown now. But I'm in the hotel room, you know, and I'm real. My wife tired. I'm tired. It's been a long day. And I'm getting a cuddle with my wife. After all of this is all over with, the person that I've been doing this with since I was 16 years old, we holding each other at night. Like, what a way to end the night. And so then when I come back and talk to y'all, I'm not fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be like, why eat so passionate? Because I'm living it. It ain't the principles of, I read a book, like, okay, I read this book, I put these 100 slides, and nothing wrong with 100 slides with great content. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying my stuff is lived. It's real. And then to what, you know, Willie Mo was saying earlier, guys, like, man, there are those of you out there, we just want you to have a blueprint. Like, who gets a treadmill without a manual?
Wow.
Who get a huge electronic, you know, equipment without? Who gets a car? My man Josh, when he got the car, he flew somebody in to teach me how to use all. Why are you married without a manual? And maybe you married without a manual because your daddy wasn't there, your mom wasn't there, your parents weren't there. I don't know. What we telling you is, we're about to give you a deluxe manual. Like Willie said, you messed up, you did mess up. You didn't mess up, then you did mess up. You was rich, you was broke. We don't care. We're about to say, don't go through marriage like this. You just
not the CeeLo.
Hope that it worked. We telling you that we gonna show you how to hold it. We gonna tell you how to hold that. So I'm just being real. That's why this is so important. Right. That's why this is so important. We eat. Look, guys, you just watched the 3 of us start a podcast, and the crew just walked in, and we just picked it up. That's what we had. We're not fake. We're not cutting, edited. We're giving you the raw, real. They in there eating, enjoying themselves. Whatever. This the raw, guys. I'm in the bathroom changing my shirt. People are like, is that ET downstairs? I said, yeah, don't bombard me. I'm human just like you human. I'm growing like you growing. So we want to give you the blueprint, y'all. That's all we want. That's all we want to do.
I think the important thing for people listening is, we're not saying that our marriage is perfect now.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, for me then.
But what I can say is, we're happy.
And I don't think it ever will be,
No. I think you strive for perfection. At the end of the day, my wife always tell me, like, yo, I gotta find some stuff just so you don't get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be like, whoa, I've done everything you've asked me to do. And she's like, I know, but I gotta find some other stuff. And so it's not about being perfect. It's not about like, oh man, they sitting there acting like they don't have any issues or you never have a problem. I think it is, you know, we are all genuinely happy in our marriages and our relationships, and our wives are genuinely happy. And I think
you don't hear me this trip as we've sat in the fellowship and we're eating meals, and it's that I realized that if something ever happened to Heather and I, the example of the people I'm around, the people I've been with, I would be so honored to have my children be raised by my family, you know? Because the principles, because the love, because of what they're seeing. And so the difference in, you know, we sent that Patriot video over this week, right? The difference in where everyone comes from is different. The values, the beliefs, the way we raise our children, the way we treat our wives, the way it's so consistent that it just allows this to happen everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. It doesn't matter what the meeting, what the environment, and it all starts with that we all genuinely love and adore our spouses, our families, our children. We want to serve them. We want to serve each other, but we don't sacrifice one thing.
And we having fun doing it, man. I'll be honest. It's something that pissed me off every time. Like, yo, shout out to everybody who, when I was about to get married, all my uncles and everybody who I know, man, why you doing that? What time is the funeral? Like, yo, like like a lot of people have this negative energy, and they always be like, oh, I'm just playing. But behind every joke, there's a little bit of truth. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I had this uneasy feeling of like, man, I love this girl and I want to make this happen, you know, and shout out, like I said, I'm probably more blessed than anybody because I had E who was like, what? Marriage is the sweetest thing you ever seen. But like from, you know, the other side, I was always getting that negative, like, oh man, there you go, you know, hang up.
Get ready to play
all that. The best days are behind you.
And you know what's crazy is like,
I need that come out.
You start getting to a point where, you know, people start putting that negative energy on you, and you don't have people that are talking like this. I'm gonna be real. Like, I can count the number of people who talk about marriage in a positive light in my life. 1, 2, like, and they in this room. You know, I'm not trying to be funny, but most people are like, man, you know, it's gonna be struggle. Like, yo, and there are some things that are, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, I always look at it like this. I made the choice to marry Candace. Nobody put a gun to my head like, yo, you about to marry this girl. It didn't happen. I can't choose my mama. I can't choose my daddy. I can't choose my brother, my cousin. Those
kids
were given to me. My kids. I cannot choose any of that. I literally said, of all the women in this entire world, I do to my girl. Why in the world would I make that that process hell? Why would I want to go through hell on something I chose? Nobody's gonna choose to cut your arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna choose pain. I choose happiness. And so when I look at my wife, I'm like, yo, I chose this life. So whatever I have to do to get maximum value out of the choice, there's enough things in my life that I don't have a choice over. You know what I'm saying?
If you think about it.
Sorry, Josh. Faith said the same thing that you're saying right now. Like, I remember the kids was driving. I mean, Nico by himself like a drive Faith, like straight up the wall sometimes. But I said, yo, let me ease up. She's like, babe, no, I got it. I'm good. Although I'm frustrated. She said, this is what I signed up for. I chose to have these 2 kids. That was my decision. But me loving her now, I'm like, yo, I'm jumping in with you because you chose that, and I chose you, and I chose family. Yep, I'm gonna do everything to alleviate the pressures for you. So, man, I think that's awesome.
Well, and just like a lot of things in life, we're on the right side of the fence, right? Wanting happy marriages, but we're on the wrong side of the odds. So more people have marriages that are failing. So it's easier to want it to happen because it's happening everywhere. It's easy for it to fail.
I think, and that's the thing, man. People, you know, I think you get into it and it sounds good at first, and you know, the analogy I used when I wrote the book was like my sister-in-law. I love my sister-in-law to life. And she had this, when she was in, I think I was a senior, her 10th grade year, she got this neon. Right, and it was a little neon, it was a little, you know, but it was her pride and joy. She treated it like a pimp. No, I'm talking about like, I'm talking about neon, a used neon. And she wouldn't let you eat. You couldn't drink water in the neon. I'm talking about like she was that serious about it, right? And over time, slowly but surely, she started to have a few problems with it, you know what I'm saying? And she would get a dent in it and wouldn't get it fixed. And you know, all of a sudden she was like, all right, cool, well, you can eat in here, but just Doritos, no Cheetos, just Doritos, you can eat, you know, and then over time, it you know, she would have, like I said, she would have issues with the car and wouldn't get it fixed, and then pretty soon, it was a piece of junk. You know, because she didn't have that same affinity towards it when she first got it. It was clean, it was new, it was shiny, but she wasn't willing to do what she needed to do to keep the upkeep of it, to keep it new and shiny. And so then every time it got a dent, she never got it fixed. And I look at like marriages like, yo, it's new and shiny and you excited and can't nobody say nothing and your girl always right, y'all together and y'all won, and then you get that first dent and you don't get it fixed.
That door to
and all of a sudden you can have, you know, you can eat, it's cool to eat Doritos in here. Now all of a sudden you got pop in the car and you doing your thing and you never get it fixed and it never returns to that new and shiny form. And the thing that my wife and I promise you, the thing that probably keeps us on track the most is when we get a dent, we're going straight to the body shop. And you ain't even gonna know it's a dent there. And some people will go, oh man, it's a dent. I don't necessarily have to get that fixed. And I think for us, that's been our key is like, yo, when something happened, let's just go get it fixed. Now, it's uncomfortable. You don't want to take the time out your day to go down there. They're going to tell you it's going to be $800. You pissed. You like, oh, my God. It's going to be some work. But when you get it back, if you go to the right person, you ain't even going to know. So I'm still, in my eyes, in my marriage, I'm still driving a Bentley.
Yep.
And that's my goal, is to continue driving that Bentley. Yep. And if you're gonna do that, it has to be the communication. It has to get fixed. I tell my homies all the time, the problems ain't going nowhere. Just because 3 days went by and you ain't pissed off no more, and y'all feel like having
what
sex.
You don't repair, you repeat.
Right, exactly. You still driving a clunker. And what happened after too long, when the clunker get too much, when you go to the dealership and now they tell you it's gonna be $2,000, you just say,
yeah, just
I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
get a new ride. And that's what divorce looks like. You just like, I can't, it's beyond repair. It's gonna cost more to fix than it's worth.
Let me say this, I gotta get out of here, y'all. I got a call with Grind Nation, but I wanted to say to your point though, see, like, I don't know why people get stressed out about the challenges of marriage like it's so unique. Like challenges are unique. Like you got challenges if you're running a business. I don't know who ran a business and everything went well. You're dealing with the economy, you're dealing with your staff, you're dealing with yourself. I don't know who's got a degree and you ain't had some challenges in the degree. So why is it that when you have a challenge and getting a master's degree, a 4-year degree, why is it that you can get through those challenges and you ain't tripping? I can't believe school. I can't believe school had these challenges. Like this don't make no sense. I can't believe business had challenges. You don't trip on that. So why is it that you exacerbate it in a marriage? Why you take it beyond where it's like it's a challenge. Every area of your life, I got challenges right now. I'm running 10 miles a day and still chunky. I got challenges, right? I got a challenge of when I finish running, I want to eat. You know what I'm saying? I still want the Cookie Monster. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, but I don't go nowhere in a corner like, I can't believe I'm working out and I don't look like whatever. It's a part of, I'm going to keep working out. And I'm going to fix this thing. And the diet going to come together one day. And everything is going to work itself out. So I just want to say, chill out. Marriage problems are not unique. They're not like, unique or different or come from outer space. Challenges are a part of every aspect of successful people's lives. If you're going to be successful, well, matter of fact, it's everybody. You might as well be successful. Everybody gonna go through challenges. You might as well go through your challenge and be successful at the end of your challenge. I gotta go, guys. I'll see y'all.
Well, shoot, let's start closing this thing up, man, because the conference is on today at 2:00. And Messi has said it before, and I just want to echo the sentiment. Like, for real, for those of you who've ever been to a average scale phenomenal will, like you've been to those conferences you see E black out, but you have never seen him do his thing when he's doing one or two things, either talking about marriage or he's preaching a sermon. And I promise you, last night, I mean, we were all there, like people who were like agnostic or atheists, if you will, like were for real making decisions now, like, okay, if you were professing the fact
you
that
might
this
be
is
a guy that I watched that. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know what they have. They felt something.
They felt something.
Yeah, so Christianity thing don't look too bad.
That touched me the most when I seen those guys. Like, it always brought me down. Who did not know what they believed, but said, if it's something to that, I want to be a part of it.
I'm just telling you. And so what we've, man, I can't say it enough. I gotta thank, Boss Man C and Josh and E for what they're doing behind the scenes in order to make Breathe You what it is, because this is definitely not a program. It is a community. Scratch that. It is a family of learners and learning. And I mean, just for us to be able to go to city and now be able to implement those same principles that you guys are using to build this company behind the scenes, to implement that into marriages and see, like, for real, I can't even begin to tell you the messages that I get during the week about the podcast and all the different stuff that we're doing. So, man, I promise you, today is going to be an awesome day. February 18th, we're in Houston. February 19th, we're in Dallas. And I believe Denver is almost solidified for April 1st. If you are anywhere close to or not close to there, you need to invest. Buy you some plane tickets, come and get you a hotel room. Once again, February 18th in Houston, February 19th in Dallas, April 1st.
What do we have, Quest? We have what, 350 people, 400 people?
For today, for this weekend. So I'm telling you, and it is going to be something phenomenal, guys. So those are the conferences coming up. I want to remind you guys about P7D.
Yep, P7D.
That's coming up, and Stay Ready conference
Stay
coming
ready.
up.
Yep. Stay ready.
Yep. So
March 12th.
March 12th.
In Atlanta.
March 12th.
Yep.
So those are some of the things coming up, and do remember, start saving your pennies from now. In the next week or two, you should start seeing the websites for the Phenomenal Life Cruise 2018. Ooh. March 4th through the 11th of 2018. We'll be going to St. Martin, St. Thomas, and I believe the Bahamas. 8 days, 7 nights. You'll be able to come and kick it with the entire ETA family. Yo, this is like for real, unprecedented.
So with all those announcements, you're basically saying just come walk in life with us.
I'm saying just come walk in life with us.
Let's walk together.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real, it's crazy. See, you were saying it before that nobody talks about marriage the way that the people in this room talk about marriage. Like for real, E's mom, put it in my spirit a long time ago. You hang around 8 or 9 broke people, you bound to be the 10. And so I would be a fool not to believe the inverse. You know what I'm saying? If you hang around 8 or 9 progressive people, that you are bound to be the 10th. And that's what I've decided to put myself amongst.
And ladies, we got y'all too.
Yep.
My wife is on the panel this afternoon. We about to get Willie wife, we're gonna work on getting her.
She's gonna do it.
And so, I can't speak for the other guys.
So we need to put Heather up there this evening while you're playing if she don't have no objections to that.
Hey, you can't speak for you gotta let the man talk. You know what I'm saying? We get in trouble now. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. I just know Willie and his girl do that shit.
I'll shoot you a text. Shoot me a text. Right. Let me know.
But ladies, we gonna have like I know you like, oh man, this is so male heavy, and it is. You know what I mean? But we are we're working on that.
That's good stuff. Yep. So let's move into this last point. E is usually the one who does the ET's challenge, but because we got my brother from another mother, you know what I'm saying, Willie Mo. This portion of the podcast is sponsored by Breathe University. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you will be successful. Run and tell a friend how dope. I can't even begin to, find the words to tell you how amazing this community of learners and learning is. So if you want to find out more information, go to www.breatheuniversity.com. Willie Mo, take us away with the Willie Mo flat out challenge of the day.
Listen, honestly, I see so many people in marriages and even in their business not living life by design. Right?
Come on.
And I want you to really get this in your spirit, just keeping it 100 with you, that you don't get what you want, you only get what you prepare for. You don't get what you want, you only get what you prepare for. So what I'm challenging you, especially to my men, like I really feel strong in my heart to speak to men today, is that I want you to start living life by design, because if you just focus on the immediate, you're going to miss the ultimate, right? So keeping it 100 with you, I want to know, so today, let's just say February. So it's February 2017. I want you to start living in February 2027, right? And I want you to start reverse engineering February 2027 and reverse engineer back to now, right? Because if you look at February 2007, if you didn't live by design, February 2017 just happened to you. But what I do know about 10 years from now is that if it just happened, you're going to try to play catch up. But I don't want you to have to play catch up. That's right. Keeping it 100 with you. So I'm now reverse engineering from February 2027, 10 years from now. My wife, on the hush, she'll be thinking about, late 40s. We're going to have an 18-year-old in the house. We're going to have a preteen in the house. I understand now the stuff that's going to be crazy in her head trying to think about college. And now this is our first baby, and we're about to be empty nesters. At least one of the babies is about to go to college. So I'm starting to prepare for that moment in time. So if we have smaller issues in February 2017, I'm not worried about those so much, because I'm now focusing more on the ultimate than I focus on the immediate. And so I'm challenging you today to understand this, is that you don't get what you want, you're getting what you prepare for. Prepare for it. I want you to be extremely intentional with 10 years from now and what that looks like. And it's really, really easy for you to do. When you were 6 or 7 years old, you used to dream all the time. You was like, man, you used to play, that's mine. Those cars would go past you like, I want a Ferrari, that's my car, that's my car. Well, I want you to do that with your mate. And if you're single, I want you to start preparing to be in a relationship and have a vision of where you want to go, all right? And so as you begin to live life by design, I'm believing by faith that in 10 years from now, that things won't be the same, you won't be in the same situation that you're in right now. If you be extremely intentional about what you want, where you want to go, and you and her get on one accord, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, family. There is nothing that can stop a man or a woman with a vision as long as you stay true to it. And so go out there and live life by design. Flat out.
Hey man, he might have to retire.
I'm just saying. Either that or click up. So yeah, guys. With that being said, anytime, And I mean, anytime you question the difficult moments in your marriage, just remember you said I do. For better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health. That's loaded. That covers the board from A to Z. And everybody, I mean everybody, wants a phenomenal marriage. But phenomenal marriages don't just happen. It's your boy Quest, sitting with the Knights at the Round Table, man. We see y'all on the next podcast.